So just to start off, I just wanted to kind of set the scene a little bit. So we've already introduced Luware, so I won't go into too much detail, but if you don't know, we're a Teams native contact center provider. So everything we're looking to do is within the Teams and Microsoft ecosystem, and we've been fully certified there. So I thought it'd be useful just to kind of frame the problem we're trying to solve with this specific application that I'm going to show you today. So I think, as we discussed a lot, we're all trying to provide as many communication channels to the end customers as possible. But what this often actually introduces is some issues where businesses are juggling multiple apps, they're juggling multiple channels, voice, video, messaging, a lot of what we discussed today. And what this does is it creates an effect where because businesses are they're juggling multiple different channels, that actually ends up with long lead times, long wait times. When we're transferring across different channels, we have to repeat that information. The agent has to repeat information, and the user has to repeat information. And then it ends up with a frustrating experience. And I put some others on the screen here that I'm sure we're all familiar with siloed workforces, isolated reporting tools. So by trying to offer more to the customer, we actually end up with some issues. So what we can do about that is we can use a CPaaS platform, and as we've said, our CPaaS platform that we've chosen is the Microsoft Azure CPaaS platform, and we can use different elements of this, but what we want to do is actually bring that together into a SaaS offering that customers can consume straight off the shelf. So that's what I'm going to show you today. So I'm going to show you an app we built called Luware Interact, and I'm going to show you that across two modalities. So the first modality that we're going to think about here is chat. So I'm going to come to my website on the right-hand side here. So this will be the end customer coming to the website, and then I'm going to have my agent experience up on the left-hand side. So please imagine you're the customer visiting the website on the right-hand side, and we've got our agent experience on the left-hand side. So we've built a widget here, and this can be fully customized, of course, and this will be instantly recognizable to a lot of you here. So we can enter standard kind of information here, take information and data, which we'll use later. So we'll take the customer's email, we can take an initial message, and the experience I'm going to show here is actually taking or requesting a new quote from this chat. So I'm going to start that interaction here now. So that's going to... Okay, so I was going to say a new quote, please. It's going to ask us if we want a new quote, and if it's kind of read that intent correctly, we can say yes there. So we'd like a new quote, and then what it's going to do is it's going to pull in a catalog. So this is where we start to use some other aspects of the Microsoft ecosystem. We use Microsoft Power Automate to kind of bring in a customer catalog here. These are Nimbus products, so I'm going to say I'd like 4 times enterprise routing. So that's one of our products that we can actually purchase from Nimbus. And then what it's going to do is it's going to generate a quote for us. So that's going to generate a quote reference. And again, this is pulling in other tools that we're using within the customer's ecosystem. So this is actually going to generate a quote in our Salesforce CRM system here. So it's generated a quote, and it's actually returned us a quote reference number. So again, we're using different aspects of the Microsoft ecosystem to pull in tools like the CRM. What that's also done here is it's actually sent me an email with my quote. So now as a customer, I have the email of the quote here. So that's that interaction done. So I'm going to go back to the chat now, and we're going to bring in a new situation where I'm going to go in to check the status of that order. So let's say I made an order there, and now I want to go back to that website. Maybe this is a few days later, and I want to actually check the status of that order. And this time, I probably want to speak to an agent. So I'm going to, again, go into this chatbot, and I'd like to say, I'd like to check the status of a order. So I'm going to say, check the status of an order here. Would you like to check the status? We'll say yes there. Okay, so I'd like to check the status of that order. So again, this is going to pull through from our Salesforce CRM. These are all of my outstanding orders. So now I can just choose one of these orders. I'm going to choose that last one that I just raised. And I'm going to say, okay, that's the order reference I want to check. So it's now pulled up the orders, and now it's going to say we're going to find an agent to help you with that. So at this point in my agent experience in Microsoft Teams here, you can see that we've now been offered this chat as an agent natively in Teams. And we're the first people to actually use Teams native chat to deliver these messages. So just like a call, I can accept or decline that. So as a user, I'm using my standard Teams calling interface. As soon as I accept that chat here, you'll notice that we're going to pop out that case or that order that they've requested an update on directly to the agent. So now I have the case in front of me. I have that chat in Teams, so I can look up all of the relevant information that's just been popped straight to me. I didn't have to do anything as an agent there. And now I can just chat away in Teams. So here I can chat backwards and forwards. Okay, and that's going to go directly across to my customer on the website. So that's an instant chat there, and I'm now connected to an agent, but that's all through Microsoft Teams here. Okay. So that's our first use case, using Teams native chat and using that element of the CPaaS platform to deliver that chat. Obviously, we've spoken a bit about video as well, so I'm going to leave that now, and I'm going to go to another widget here, which is just to initiate a video call. So again, I can enter similar information, and I can bring up my email, accept the privacy policy. And now I'm going to enter into a video call. So from the customer's perspective, I'm just going to choose my kind of audio settings here. But from the user's perspective, because we're delivering all of these interactions in Teams, this is just going to invite me into a native Teams meeting. So again, from a user's perspective, I don't have to go anywhere else to get this interaction. I can deal with that all natively in Teams. So it's inviting me into that Teams meeting. And then all I have to do here is, again, it's like joining any other Teams meeting. So I'm just going to put myself on mute so I don't get that feedback. And then we'll just be in that Teams meeting now. So I can share the video from the website. If I want to share a screen, I can do that here. So obviously, if I need help with a form or something like that, I can share my screen backwards and forwards. So at that point, you're just in a Teams meeting. So what we're trying to do there is keep the agent experience in one place. So all of the reporting, all of the presence, all of the collaboration with the back office is unified, but really offer those communication channels to the contact center. And because this is a full contact center behind the scenes, we have all of our contact center dashboards. So this is just an example. I don't have time to show you all of our dashboards. But here, for example, we have a live dashboard. You might want to display this up on some sort of wallboard. And we have that video call there. We'll show you which modality that call is in, whether that was a chat or a video. I can see which agents are connected. I can see how many agents we have available. So whether we're collaborating on voice, video, email, chats, we can use our contact center dashboards. We've got a unified reporting suite. But more importantly, we're bringing that from a user perspective, which we haven't spoken about so much over the last couple of days. We're keeping that all in one place to try and solve some of those issues that I outlined at the start of the presentation. So yeah, that's it.
All right.
Thanks for watching.
All right, let's hand it over to the judges for some questions and comments.
Could you clarify, is this specifically designed for a Microsoft Pure ecosystem? You mentioned Salesforce at one time. I don't know if that was a mistake, or is it pure Microsoft only, or mix and match with other?
Yeah, so what we're doing is we're using different elements of the Microsoft stack to bring in the necessary applications. So at its core, that's voice, video, and chat, as I've shown there. But by using Power Automate, and Philip spoke a bit about this earlier, obviously it's useful at certain points during that agent journey to connect to a CRM. So when that interaction was delivered to the user, we can pop out to any external application outside of the Microsoft ecosystem, whether that's Salesforce, a custom database, an on-premise application. So we want to use the Microsoft tools to access any of the customer's applications. And of course, a lot of those are going to sit outside of the Microsoft ecosystem. But by using tools like Microsoft Power Automate, it means from a build perspective, a design perspective, a data security perspective, all of that customer data stays within the customer's Microsoft ecosystem.
Okay, and then is your solution meant to be the complete contact center solution, or is it meant to work with an existing contact center solution?
So ours is the complete contact center solution. So predominantly, our customers are using it to route voice calls still. So that's still the predominant channel for our customers. But here, obviously, in the kind of the CCaaS slant on this, sorry, the CPaaS slant on this is routing those other interaction channels as well. And our view is that we don't really mind where that interaction comes from. We want to use a core platform, a singular platform to route that, because it's when we start dispersing this across multiple platforms that we start seeing those organizational, and then that translates into challenges for the customer around wait time, et cetera.
So the chat conversation would be saved in persistent chat, is that correct?
Yeah, absolutely. So any chat recording application that you use in Teams, like if you want to record those chats for kind of compliance purposes, then that would still be recorded. And then if you want to use AI, as we've spoken about, to do some sentiment analysis, whatever your AI choice might be, either on those video calls or on those chat messages, we can bring them in as well using the Microsoft ecosystem.
And if you go into voice or video mode, is that recorded or transcribed?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got solutions to record and transcribe. So yeah, those can be added on modularly.
I had a quick question. Do the agents need anything installed to, other than Teams to work with that?
No. So from an agent perspective, they don't need any of these dashboards. They literally just need their Teams app. So here I'm just using my Teams chat, whether that's even on my mobile. So how we see this is, let's say you've got an out-of-hours chat on a weekend. You might not want, agents might not want to sit at their desk because they might not be getting that high volume of chats. They can just open up their Teams app on their mobile when they're distributed a chat from the website and just start responding natively in their Teams app.
Thank you.
If I was a customer and I already had an existing relationship with another CPaaS provider, could I change to that?
Yeah, 100%. I think this is where I see the relationship between CCaaS and CPaaS is, I think the role of the contact center is when it needs to be delivered to an agent. Okay, so when you need to deliver an interaction to an agent, then our choice is to use Teams to do that. But let's say, for example, after this call, we wanted to send an SMS to follow up on an order or to confirm the order. Then that can be any CPaaS solution because Power Automate obviously has that low-code platform to trigger something. So we could send that in Twilio or Cinch or any other CPaaS platform, that follow-up.